that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down.
That boy sure is a dancing fool. Dimitri van den Bergh, the dream maker, the Belgian #1. A man sitting pretty in the European Tour Order of Merit. We think he's going to be at the European Championship. It would take something extraordinary for him not to be there. In fact, he might even be mathematically secure. But he'll be feeling pretty secure about his place in Göttingen. The question is, can he go on and take the next step in his career and win a senior PDC title? He has been knocking on the door this year. He has been threatening to do it. And he's been regularly at these European Tour events, which is no mean feat in itself, coming through that European Tour card holder on a number of different occasions. Most of the time he goes out in day 2. But at the very start of the year, he did make the final day at the European Darts Open. He has got a chance here this weekend, but he has to negotiate his way past Scott-Taylor and then Jermaine Wattimena for him to find his way through to the final day. Scott-Taylor is a curious one. He could come up here and average 104. He did that at the World Trophy in the BDO just a few weeks ago. Or he could come here and average 80, which we saw him do in the Pro Tour the other day.
Dimitri through first. Game on.
George Noble will call this one. Rob Malarkey in the commentary box.
Yeah, I know what you mean about Taylor. He's a really difficult player to weigh up at times. I mean, September's been pretty good for him. You mentioned that run to the last 16 at the BDO World Trophy as Van den Bergh rattled in the first 180 of the match. But he had that second round appearance at the European Match Play. There was a Pro Tour semi-final as well in September,
100.
in which he was beaten 7-4 by James Wade. But by the same token, we have seen some very disappointing performances by Scott Taylor on the European Tour. However, maybe, just maybe, things are beginning to come together for him. But Van den Bergh, I think, well, he won't want to take any chances with European qualification. A win today, and that would certainly take care of business. But
well, this is a good sign, because we know if Dimitri is hitting the trebles from the word go, he might post one of those massive averages. And Scott Taylor, if he's hitting them early doors, it's a 180 in the first leg. You're fancying him to produce a few more.
100. Dimitri require 130.
Neck and neck in the opening leg.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really good start by these two, and certainly Van den Bergh will have to be on his toes if he's to hold his throw.
Can't find the treble.
94.
None of this leaving double 15 business that Anthony Lopez was so keen on doing earlier on. 11 segment. Double 14. Oh, Scott Taylor clicks a wire.
Requires 36.
Does like double 18, Dimitri. Leaves it a lot. Clicks a wire himself. And uses that superbly. Great leg of darts to start things off. Quite the contrast from what we've just seen between Lopez and Rosenau.
Yeah, leaves that double 18 a lot and finds it
96
fairly frequently as well. I mean, what Van den Bergh has done to really boost and enhance his chances of European qualification, these two recent appearances, there was a second round appearance in Austria and another one fairly recently as well, and that has made a big difference. There's no doubt about it. The form has really seen an upturn this summer. He's had some really good results on the Pro Tour as well. A quarter-final, a semi-final and a final in the space of 6 weeks or so from the end of June. And that, with the European Tour form, it's all started to come together for Dimitri van den Bergh.
Well, Scott Taylor, he seems to be more dangerous when, if you tell him he's playing in a darts tournament 3 weeks from now, he might not be that great. But if you tell him he's in a darts tournament about 8 hours before he gets going, he's dangerous. He's had 2 big runs this year in floor events when he's been brought in to make up the numbers because somebody's pulled out.
58.
And handily in Barnsley and Wigan, he lives up in the northwest, he can get there. They've got a big list of people that they go down, and it goes on your order of merit on the Challenge Tour. And Scott Taylor's right near the top of that because he's been very good on the Challenge Tour this year. But he's also close by, so if somebody pulls out last minute, he can get there. And he did have a run to the semi-final in Barnsley earlier on this month.
34.
Played some really good stuff, was only beaten by James Wade in that semi-final. Beat the likes of Justin Piper, we know is in great form. Nathan Aspinall, the UK Open champion.
85.
Devon Peterson, who's been playing great
72.
lately.
Am I right in saying he was a very late replacement for Michael van Gerwen as well in that one? It was like Denmark in 1992.
It was a bit like that, yeah. Double 18
Just
again.
dragged him off the beach.
54. Scott, you require 86.
Now to level it up. Staying in that segment. Now wants the ball.
61.
Doesn't get it.
Dimitri, you require 18. Game shot on the
So
second
maybe there was
leg.
this
Dimitri
suggestion
van
that
der
Scott
Bergh.
Taylor is a short
Third leg,
notice
Dimitri
specialist
to throw
with a
first.
change of outfit.
Game on.
More outfits than Lady Gaga, that monkey.
$140.
It's Dimitri with a punch of the fist. Do like it if we're going to get fired up, Dimitri van der Bergh. I like that, Dimitri. It's exciting to watch. Not something that comes naturally to him, but it is something he's trying to introduce to his game.
41.
Well, once we eliminate visits of 41 from his game.
Yeah, Scott Taylor's
44.
Euro campaign this year pretty much mirroring that one of last year. He's not gone beyond the second round of a Euro Tour event, either this year or last. Dimitri van den Bergh in the money once again.
180.
Oh, 3 180s in 3 legs for Dimitri van den Bergh.
60. Dimitri, you require 140.
Work his way around those.
60.
Not quite, but he's got forever to get this done, because even a maximum from Scott Taylor doesn't leave a finish.
140. Dimitri, you require 80.
16's route, I would imagine, for Dimitri.
$40.
Well, and then leaves
And
double
then
top
leaves
anyway.
tops anyway.
I
mean, the irony was not lost on either of us. and I think
95.
to some extent,
Dimitri, you require
on
40.
many watching as well. Anyway, van den Bergh looking at tops after all of that.
Game shot on the third leg. Dimitri van der Bergh. Full leg Scott.
3-0 to the good
first.
already in fairly swift fashion as well, it has to be said. I mean, I think this European Championship is a big opportunity for van den Bergh, no doubt about it. I mean,
45.
I mentioned the recent good stuff on the Pro Tour, but let's not forget that he's had almost half of his Pro Tour campaigns this year have culminated in a first round defeat. He's slowly but surely making amends. And I think this would be
134.
a good way to round off the year.
Well, he's only made the European Championship once before. That was a couple of years ago, and he went out in round 1 there. So it is a big opportunity for Dimitri. He's
85.
moved into the top 32 in the world rankings for the first time in his career this year. He's become Belgium's #1, and if you're going to make big jumps up the rankings, it gets harder and harder, obviously. You know, you win 10 grand, you can jump
45.
a lot of places if you're down in the 70s or 60s. But by the time you get up to 30, 28, 25, then 10 grand doesn't make much of a dent.
140.
So you need to be going to the big tournaments on TV, winning games, going deep. That's when you start making big money. Jumps you up the rankings, gets you into other ends. You get in the top 16 in the world, which is obviously what Dimitri
140.
will be aiming to do over the next few years. And then you start appearing in everything, and you've got opportunities to make a very, very good living.
64.
will be trying to protect those, well, the big money that he won at the World Championship 2 years ago, 2017, when he made the quarterfinals. So that's coming up on the horizon as well.
Yeah, and that may well be playing on his mind.
43.
That's the
Dimitri,
43.
you require 124.
After being the first to a finish, S.Taylor is now level pegging with Dimitri, and he gets first crack at the 1-2-4. Treble 18 and ball. For a break of throw and 4-0.
99. Scott, you require 124.
Bullseye he wants.
99.
Same outcome, 25 remaining, but it's
Dimitri,
Bergh who
required
has first go
25.
here. Just hasn't really settled into this one, has he? S.Taylor so far, double 8 for Bergh for 4-0.
Game show on
And
the fourth
4-0
leg.
it is.
Dimitri
Bergh doesn't
Bergh.
look totally happy with what's going on right now, but
Fifth
deep
leg,
down he'll be
Dimitri
delighted when he looks up at the
first.
scoreboard and sees that he's got
Game
4
on.
next to his name, and Taylor is yet to get off the mark, and Taylor left to reflect again on what might have been.
Well, Taylor has lost all 4 legs.
93.
He's had a dart at double in 3 of them and been left on an admittedly makeable 116 checkout in the other one. It could have been different, but the thing is, Dimitri has been having lots of
140.
opportunities. It's not as if Dimitri has been getting 1 dart at double and chipping out for a ton plus checkout in each leg himself. He has been, look at that, first 9 average of 110. He's leaving himself a finish
60.
after 9 darts, typically, in each leg. It's taking him a little while to get over the line from there.
But he's got enough in hand in the main.
Might be different in this leg as S.Taylor puts in his second maximum. And the average goes above that of Dimitri, despite him being 4-0 down.
56.
Bergh making his 4th visit to Gibraltar, by the way. He made the 3rd round a couple of years ago. He was beaten by Michael Smith 6-5
59.
against the eventual champion that year.
Yeah, Michael Smith won every single game that year, 6-5, until the final, which was 6-4 against Mentor.
134. Scott, you require 122.
Does get to a finish. 72 left. Oh, he's tried to go double-double. Bit
82.
flash that, Scott.
Dimitri, you require 158.
Maybe with an element of backup in mind, given that Bergh's on 158 anyway, but Taylor will return looking at tops here for a break of
96.
throw
Scott, you require
and
40.
a step in the right direction, if anything else.
Oh, to avoid the whitewash at least. At least!
Game show on
There
the
it
fifth
is.
leg. Scott Taylor.
Not had a whitewash today so far in the first round matches. We've not really been close to one, to be honest.
Well, 3 was the biggest victory we saw in
Sixth
the
leg, Scott
afternoon
to
session, and that's
reverse.
continued this
Game
evening.
on.
Did look like Vessel Nyman might batter Darren Webster, but in the end we ended up in a last leg decider.
140. $140. $81.
Bergh with £13,000 on the European Order of Merit prior to this weekend, so looking good. If he wins this, he's got another couple of grand to go on there. Healthy count back as well.
58.
He should be okay, but he needs to seal the deal here.
You know what?
100.
The main thing for Dimitri will be a run. It could put him a long way up that order of merit, because, yes, all right, qualifying is one thing, but if you're number 29 or 28 or somewhere around there, you're going to be playing number 3 or 4. And number 3 or 4 in the opening round.
Could be a Gerwin Price, for example, or a
Well, it could be an Ian White, a Gerwin
100.
Price, a Dowell Gurney, Mensah,
Dimitri
Sullivan. You don't want to play them.
164.
It'll be Mervyn King at the World Grand Prix for Dimitri.
96. Scott, you require
Draw made this
80.
morning. Oh, hello, double-double again.
why not Scott Taylor?
40.
Well, that's why not.
Dimitri, you require
Gave
68.
himself the opportunity with that first dart, but couldn't follow it up with any of the following two. And the chance here for Bergh to break back straight away for a 5-1 lead. And that's a very neat and tidy finish as well from the Belgian. And he's one away.
7th leg, Dimitri to throw first. Game on.
And one leg away from a place in the second round. Jermaine Watermaina awaits the winner of this one, the number 13 seed in the top half of the draw.
45.
Darius Labanauskas and Jose de Sousa on the way. What a cracking match that promises to be. Lithuania against
140.
Portugal on the European tour here in Gibraltar. Does it get more cosmopolitan than that?
Oh, the Portuguese guy does live in Spain as well. If you want to throw that one in.
Yeah.
80.
Jose de Sousa, one of the most recent winners on the PDC tour as well.
140.
Fabulous display to pick up a first PDC title.
96.
Yeah, and you have to say it's been coming as well, given what he's done already this year. I remember when he had that good run in Denmark, even prior to that, he'd been doing very good things on the Pro Tour in the build-up to the Danish Darts Open. But he comes into this one as a PDC title holder.
Oh, can he fill it up to leave a two-darter?
140.
Oh, that could be the difference between a 6-1 win and this game going longer. Double top.
170.
I'll tell you what, he's been threatening to pull out some fantastic combination finishes, Scott
He
Taylor.
has been knocking on the door in the majority of legs, but once again, he can't make the most of that opportunity. However,
60. Scott, you require
he returns
40.
looking at tops, 3 darts in hand for 5-2. It's another break of throw as well, potentially.
Game show on the 7th
Just about the
leg.
flight
Scott
came out as well
Taylor.
to good measure.
Ah, 5-2. Scott Taylor still alive in this one, but for how much longer?
8th leg, Scott to throw first. Game on. $134.
Big deep breaths from Dimitri Bergh. Wants to get this done now. Doesn't want to get stuck into a battle, get
40.
dragged into a close game.
Now, we've seen that on several occasions already today, where players look to have been in a very, very good
41.
position, only to be hauled back in, reeled back in. Steve Beaton, a classic example. Wessel Nyman, another good example as well.
45. $125.
His flights won't stick in, but
The darts are.
the darts are going pretty much where he wants them. 300 scored in 3 visits.
96.
Healthy lead in this leg. Could cut the gap to just 2 legs. 177 incoming. Okay. I mean, 180 to leave 21 is also an option.
Yeah, nice bit of honesty there from Bergh, just pointing out he's on 320, not 220. I think George Noble was on top of that one anyway.
95. Scott, you require 61.
Well, there's definitely a suggestion here that the tide is turning. Whether Taylor has left it a little bit too late is the only question on his mind.
21.
That was a long way north.
He's needing a fair few goes at double top to pin it, isn't he? If Dimitri can apply some pressure, put a good setup shot in here, and he's going to do that. And Scott Taylor has been a little bit dodgy on double top in this game. He has hit it, but it's taken him a while. But that is first dart for Scott Taylor.
Great response from Taylor just when Bergh did throw down that succession of treble 19s to put the pressure on, but Taylor responded really well. 5-3 now all of a sudden, and this match potentially
96.
mirroring plenty of others that have gone before today.
$95.
He does look more comfortable now, Scott-Taylor, but the problem is it's taken him 6 legs to get to this stage, and those 6 legs have seemingly gone 5-1 down.
97.
Yeah, if this was first at 10, I'd quite fancy Taylor, but I think he has maybe just left himself a little bit too much to do.
90.
Well, caught in two minds there, I assume. Thinking about going for the 18s.
150.
Maybe elected to go for the 20s, and then it's gone for neither. But good cover shooting on the 19s keeps Dimitri van den Bergh's nose in front.
Keegan Brown was very impressive on the treble 19s early today, and Van den Bergh has found salvation once again with that particular portion of the board.
$58.
They don't help him this time.
No.
But they do Scott-Taylor.
34.
And all of a sudden, Dimitri van den Bergh might start to feel a little bit concerned. Treble 20. To banish those fears. And win the game on the ball. Fabulous check out from the Dreammaker. Holds off a fight back from Scott-Taylor. And the Belgian #1 will take on Jermaine Watermaner in round 2 tomorrow.
Dimitri, well played. That check out at the end, you might have needed that because Scott was coming back at you.
Yeah, he was, and in my game, my scoring was going down, and he was going up, and I was like, come on, just keep believing. And as soon as I hit the 58, I said to myself, you can hit these shots, just believe, and I'm happy I hit that treble 20 because I know the bullseye goes in then.
Things are starting to happen for you. You're going to be playing at the World Grand Prix. It's Mervyn King for you in the first round. The draw was made today. You are going to be back at the European Championship because you're consistently making these events and winning games. And you've had a couple of Pro Tour finals as well. It's all going in the right direction.
Yeah, it is going in the right direction because when you work hard, the reward has to come. And I've always kept digging in. It doesn't matter who I play. But I've got to say, on the European tours, it isn't easy to qualify, and I'm happy and lucky that I can qualify myself so much and always win my first game, because otherwise it would have been really difficult to get in.
You are playing that man there, Jermaine Watermaner, in the next round tomorrow.
Jermaine, here I am. Yeah, he's one of our team, so I know Jermaine knows me, we know how we play, so tomorrow definitely going to be a game about our own quality and the one that turns up in the moment himself. So yeah, I'm going to give my best. I know he's going to give his best, but I won't back down, young man.
Where's your money, Gibraltar? The Dreammaker Dimitri van den Bergh, the machine gun Jermaine Watermaner on this stage tomorrow. Congratulations, Dimitri van den Bergh through to round 2.